freshman year of college, I took a chemistry class that I really struggled with. The tables were arranged in groups of 4, and I sat at the middle table on the left side. Right next to me was a guy named Zach. Zach was awkward, the kind of guy who gave off serious Reddit moderator energy. He was about 5'8", a little overweight, with a patchy beard, but when it came to chemistry, he really knew his stuff. He was just one of those people who was good at school in general. We started talking in a pretty cordial way once he noticed I was struggling. He offered to help me with homework, and eventually, he even let me cheat off him on tests. I never picked up any flirtatious vibes from him. Looking back, he was probably just too awkward to flirt in person. He eventually asked for my number so he could send me homework-related material. I gave it to him without hesitation. He was helping me out a lot and seemed harmless, just a little reclusive. Fast forward to the last day of class. Zach did something I completely did not see coming. He asked me if I wanted to go on a date with him after class. I had zero physical attraction to Zach, and our personalities were total opposites. But he had helped me maintain an A all semester, so I had to let him down as gently as possible. I told him I was heading to Miami for a couple of weeks and wouldn't be around. He immediately shot back, "What about when you get back?" I figured 2 weeks apart would be enough time for him to lose interest, so I said something vague like, "Yeah, maybe." He responded with this really cringy, "Cool," and just nodded his head. The rest of that class period was painfully awkward. The second it ended, I walked straight to my car and went home. I was a commuter, not a dorm student, so once the semester was over, that was it. Or so I thought. That Thursday night, my friends who went to the same school wanted to go out, so we hit the town. At some point, I got a text from Zach asking when I was leaving for Miami. I told my friends everything, how he helped me get an A, but now wanted a date. They jokingly said I should just go out with him to be nice. I sarcastically played along and said, "Oh yeah, for sure." I told myself I'd reply to his text later, but I was drunk and completely forgot about it. The next morning, I woke up to 2 follow-up texts. The first was just question marks. The second said, "You're going to ignore me now that you don't need me anymore, right?" I replied and told him I was sorry, that I'd been packing and was leaving for Miami that day. He responded almost instantly. The conversation ended there, but it shouldn't have. That same night, my girls and I went out again. While we were out, I got a text from Zach that stopped me cold. He said, "I thought you said you were going to Miami tonight." I almost dropped my drink. I showed my friends and they were just as shaken as I was. I replied asking what he meant. He said, "Nothing. Forget it. I just don't like liars." I was genuinely terrified. I scanned the entire bar looking for him, but as far as I could tell, he wasn't there. I stopped responding. I had no intention of ever texting him back again. Then, late that night, shortly after I got home, literally in the middle of taking my shoes off, there was a knock at my door. It was around 1 in the morning. I called out asking who it was. It was Zach. to scream. I was home alone. I yelled through the door that if he didn't leave, my dad would come out and deal with him. That worked. He stopped knocking and left. I immediately texted everyone I knew, my family, my friends. I was horrified. Some people told me to call the police. I said I'd go to the station in the morning. But the morning didn't even come before things got worse. In the middle of the night, I got a long, deeply unsettling text from him. Here's what it said. I'm feeling a lot of emotions right now, after being used by someone for months and then lied to. Hurt and anger are two of them. I thought from the start of the semester that our chemistry was through the roof. No pun intended. I must say, I'm hurt that you would make up something as elaborate as a 2-week Miami trip just to avoid going out with me, especially after I stuck my neck out for you all semester and risked my own academic standing. I definitely noticed the way you looked at me sometimes in class, and I can't pretend there wasn't a hint of interest there. All I'm asking for is one date. That's it. I'm not asking for your hand in marriage, though I would surely be quite the ideal husband if I do say so myself. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you needed more time to think it over. I know how much I have to offer, far more than the losers all over campus. If you want, I can come back to your house and we can talk about it in person. I am only making this offer once. I'm just very crushed to feel like I wasted so much this semester for nothing in return. Yours truly, Zach. I didn't care that it was 3 a.m. I called my dad until he picked up and read him every word. He was furious. He sent Zach a lengthy text of his own and tried calling him about 10 times, but Zach never picked up. The next day, I went to the police station. I brought all the texts and told them I wanted to press charges. They told me Zach would be contacted. He never answered a single call or text from the police. He just vanished entirely. Between the police reaching out and my dad's messages and voicemails, that was apparently enough to scare him off for good. I never saw him on campus again, never heard from him again. But I can tell you this, I know firsthand what it feels like to deal with an actual stalker.